We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football, including crazy coaching carousel. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell so you know the next time we're coming on live or doing an episode, doing a watch party. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends if you want to support our channel. Hit the $ with a comment with the super chat. We'll get to comment as soon as possible. A lot to get to today. We are sitting in the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to be a PATC legend with your comments and with your phone calls later in the show. This is going to be our shortest monologue ever. Shortest monologue ever because things are happening in real time. We're just going to get to the phone calls, to the chats. I have about a 5-minute monologue. I'm just going to set the table. My voice is a little bit out because we did the Michigan-Ohio State watch party game yesterday. Fantastic football game. Congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. They're the best team in the Big Ten. They're going to go to the college football playoffs once again for the third year in a row. Congratulations to the Washington Huskies. Field goal kicker makes the kick, wins the game, and the kicker gets a scholarship in the locker room by Kalen DeBoer after the game. An incredible moment. I love college football. I love college football. Congratulations to Alabama. 4th and 31. I don't have my voice because I've been screaming. Yesterday, I screamed all day long. So the voice is a little rough. Auburn! What are you doing? So much going on. Tulane and Liberty are all set. One of those two schools. Tulane has the inside track, but Tulane and the AAC, they won Friday. They beat UTSA, Liberty Flames. One of those two schools are going to be the representative in the New Year's Bowl for the G5 schools. Then we have the crazy carousel. We have the bowls. I think we're going to find out some bowl games officially during this show, so keep your head on a swivel. Put it in the chat. Let us know. There's so much going on. PATC community, that's why we're doing this show right now at noon, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. I know, Greg, the NFL, what are you doing? Doing a show at 1 o'clock Eastern on NFL Sunday. I don't even know what the NFL is. This is college football, baby. This is where everybody goes to get that little bit of extra content in college football. The game that slices our heart up year after year after year after year. Unless you're a Georgia Bulldog fan, I guess. But every one of us decimated by the game we love of college football. And of course, I was up. I was up at 1:30 this morning on my telephone checking out Hawaii. The Rainbow Warriors. They kick a field goal. No time remaining to defeat the Colorado State Rams. And what does that mean? What does that game mean in Hawaii? That means there's one team. 5-7 team. One team that is absolutely decimated. They were playing their second string true freshman cornerbacks yesterday because their first string true freshman cornerbacks got injured yesterday. 2 of them. There's one 5-7 team that qualifies. They're going bowling. And that is your beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers. So it was a crazy day. Crazy day. John Till, thank you for your super chat. If Ohio State fires Day, Texas A&M will hire him before the ink is dry on his pink slip. And if they don't, UCLA will send John Wick to remove Chip Kelly. Thank you for the super chat, John. Again, I don't have a monologue. We're going to be bouncing all over because of John's very generous super chat, helping us keep the lights on here in the studios. Let's talk about it. I'm sorry. I do not agree with Ohio State. I get it. I'm a lowly Gopher fan. What do I know? I know nothing about having expectations. But let's get one thing straight. A generic head coach does not go 56-7 or whatever the record is at Ohio State. Let's agree with that. Put generic head coach in the Ryan Day spot. The Buckeyes are not going 56-7 or 57-6 or whatever that record is. Come on, man. Ryan Day is an excellent football coach. Has he met the expectation of the Buckeye fans? No. The Buckeye boosters? No. Gene Smith? No. Can Ryan Day, has he become the wild card for Texas A&M? I don't know. Probably not. I get it. I get why he's getting the heat. But I also see, I can go look, I can point them out on Twitter, on X. Fans are arguing, Buckeye fans, you could put anybody in the Ryan Day spot and the Buckeyes could have achieved what they've achieved. Nah, come on, man. No. Look, I've been very hard on Michigan's in-person scouting. But I've been fair. I believe I've been fair. I have been reporting the truth. I have not gone to the extremes. I have not talked about, speculated on some crazy stories that haven't panned out to be true in that big story of in-person scouting. But Michigan's got a great football team. They've got great football players. And they had the better of the Buckeyes. Kyle McCord made a mistake. J.J. McCarthy didn't make any mistakes. And that's it. That's the ball game. The Buckeyes are a great football team. There's an outside chance they still get to the college football playoffs. Michigan's just been a little bit better. And that probably isn't good enough. Ryan Day may very well get fired. I don't know. I don't think so. But man, oh man. Then Cameron B. Houston, sneaky good job. Hawks 9-win season coming. Okay. Jayhawks 9-win season coming. Cameron B., thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the generosity. Let's go over to the Houston job. I have to take the big fat L. The fat guy from Minnesota, I am taking the L. Dana Holgorsen has been fired. And I didn't think that was going to happen. I did not think that was going to happen. How many times did I say it's not going to happen? Just last week, they had some event where Dana Holgorsen was up there with Tillman for Teddy, whatever his name is, the booster and the president and the athletic director. I did not think that Houston was going to fire Dana Holgorsen after 1 year of in the Big 12. I thought for sure Dana was going to get year 2. Not because of the buyout money. Tillman was always going to have money for the buyout. The buyout money is not a problem for the University of Houston. I'm shocked by that one. Dana and Tillman are good friends. I thought Dana would get 1 more year. Now, who does Houston go after? I believe that is a sneaky good job. I believe that's a job in which I think it's a trampoline job. I think somebody can strike gold there for a year or two. And then come back up into the autonomy conference. Get a good job in the town. I think I agree with you, Cameron B. Dana Holgorsen. I put out a tweet saying, go get him, Fleck. Go get Dana Holgorsen as your offensive coordinator. That means that Fleck would have to give up control. That he would have to quit meddling. That he would have to be not so conservative. And that's not going to happen. Dana Holgorsen's going to get a job, offensive coordinator. He's going to get a big job here in the next season. Or a head coaching job if he wants to go down into the G5 ranks. But I think he'll be an offensive coordinator somewhere big in 2024. Thank you so much for the super chat, Cameron B. And again, we're looking at bowl games becoming official right now. Jeff Traylor's a perfect fit for Houston. That name has popped up. The Athletic put out an article who would be the possible replacement for Dana Holgorsen, and the first name was Jeff Traylor. Okay, let's get into it. 12 Duck 72. Good morning, Greg. Did Stoops really turn down A&M, or did the Board of Regents boosters step in and kill it? Let's take a look here. I don't know, but I will tell you this. I got it up on the screen. 3 Tech Pod per Billy Lucci of Texas A&M website. Mark Stoops was tabbed as the next head coach of A&M and had even begun telling people he was leaving. Texas A&M final approval had not been granted by the board. The board was aware of the revolt from the fan base and killed the deal. Mike Elko or Elijah Robinson appear to be the favorite to take over next. It's worth noting the players are asking for E-Rob to be the next head coach. Elijah Robinson is a current D-line coach at Texas A&M. The players love him. Now, I don't know if this is accurate or not. I would take the word, I guess, of Billy on this, but for me, most places, the Board of Regents have no idea what the fan base is thinking. Maybe Texas A&M, it's different. Maybe half the board there are right in line with the fan base. They know what they're thinking. They read the message boards. They listen to the radio shows, whatever. But in most places, the Board of Regents, what they believe the fan base wants, they wouldn't even be interested. They do not know and they wouldn't be interested. It's the donors that have to be satisfied. So the board was aware of the revolt from the fan base. And again, Mark Stoops has been an incredible coach for Kentucky. Sometimes I wonder if the fan bases of these college football programs that have all the resources at their fingertips, the recruiting grounds in their front yard and their backyard, the money, the NIL, the facilities, these fans of these football programs, they look down on these successful coaches at these other schools because they're going 8-4, 9-3. Mark Stoops has done an unbelievable job at Kentucky. Are you kidding me? And then Texas A&M, the fans want Mike Elko. Yeah, he's been the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. I can understand that. I understand that. But come on. Nobody is blaming Mike Elko for Duke going 7-5 this year. Of course not. How can anybody say that Mark Stoops is not worthy of a big SEC job like Texas A&M? I don't know. It's one of my, sometimes these fan bases, I don't think they understand how difficult, how impossible it is. Kentucky's won 10 games, twice under Mark Stoops. 10 games. I don't know, man. I'd take Mark Stoops if Fleck, whenever he decides to leave. A lot of schools would take Mark Stoops. A lot of SEC schools would take Mark Stoops. I guess he's not good enough for Texas A&M. I guess he's not good enough. Jeff Olson, congratulations to the Badgers, to the evil Badgers, for bringing home the axe after 2 years. Absolutely heartbreaking. Gerald McKinley, Kirk Ferentz, and Dana would be an interesting combination. Interesting combination. Jerry Kill going to get a Power 5 job, Greg? I don't know, man. Bob Dolan, great question. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if any athletic director is going to take. I'm going to say no. But look, if like Indiana wants to call Jerry Kill and check around and do a background on his health, it's about Jerry Kill's health. Because the stress level, it's about Jerry Kill's health. He's now in his early 60s. I'm going to predict no, but is his agent checking around? Would Indiana give him a call? Would other programs give him a call? Would a Big 12 school give him a call? Possibly yes, but a thorough background, an update on his health. But Jerry Kill, 10-3, New Mexico State, unbelievable job going to the Conference USA game against Liberty. Stoops has a sweet situation at Kentucky. He does. That contract rolls over for another year every time Kentucky wins, I believe, 7 games a year. So that contract keeps rolling over and over and over. He's got a sweet situation, but maybe he wants to scratch that itch. Maybe he wants to go somewhere where the football program is the one that leads the athletic department and has more resources at their fingertips than Kentucky and is looking to win a possible national championship. And that's Texas A&M. So I would not blame Mark Stoops for being interested. But I don't know the end of the story there. I don't know if Mark Stoops said no at the end or if Texas A&M Board of Regents said no. Who's going to be Texas A&M's new head coach? We're going to find out real soon. We might find out today. The coaching carousel is spinning like crazy, and it's the schedule. December 4th is transfer portal, opening of the transfer portal. December 4th, it's already November 26th. Early signing day is December 20th. You've got NIL collectives wanting to know who their new head coach is. The crazy coaching carousel is spinning with lightning speed right now. UTEP's fired coach Dana Dimmo after going 20-49 at the school. Yeah, a lot of decisions are being made right now during this live show. So keep your head on a swivel. Let us know. Let us know what's going on. Any breaking news. Tom Allen's been fired from Indiana. $20 million. $20.4 million buyout. That's a whole lot of money. That is a whole lot of money. Now, Indiana, new Big Ten deal, right? New Big Ten media deal. They must believe bringing in a new coach, having some new hope is worth the $20 million. Maybe Indiana has somebody in mind. Maybe they've already tabbed somebody. This is what I think about Houston. Is it Jeff Traylor or is it somebody else? Is it a bigger name? Houston fired Dana Holgorsen. Big buyout. Tillman's got the money. No problem there. But do they have a name? Do they have somebody already lined up for the Houston Cougar job? That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. Gerald McKinley, great question. Wonder if Martinez, the great running back of Oregon State, or if any other Beaver players follow Smith to Michigan State. That's usually what happens. That's what usually happens. Right? Caleb Williams followed Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma to USC. That happens a lot when a G5 coach gets a job at an autonomy school, and then he brings his 3-4 best players from the G5 program that just went 11-1 or 12-0, and they bring them up with them to the new program. Biggest buyout in Big Ten history. Tom Allen. Yep, we covered it. Houston fired Dana Holgorsen, and I've already took the big fat L on that. I did not think that was going to happen. Willie Fritz, LA Kane fan, Tulane coach Willie Fritz. Is he leaving? Is he going to take another job? He's on a whole lot of hotboard lists. But Willie Fritz has said in public that he's going to retire at Tulane. Now, he would not be the first coach that said that in public and then decided to take another job later on. Willie Fritz, he's up there in age. Would he take a different job? Tulane, they are one win away from going back to New Year's Bowl for the second year in a row. Expanded playoffs starting next year. Tulane is at the top of the AAC. Tulane is going to be one of those favorites to get to the college football playoffs next year. Their starting quarterback, who's led Tulane Green Wave for the last 2 years, he has a decision to make. Is he going to go to the NFL, or is he going to stay one more year at Tulane, or is he going in the transfer portal? We're going to be watching that decision. So much going on. So much going on. I don't think BYU is going to fire the head coach. But again, I didn't think Houston was going to fire Dana Holgorsen. So I thought these guys would get a second year in the new Big 12. That transition was difficult. So I better keep away from predicting what's going to happen at BYU, because I swung and missed at the Houston situation. No question about it. Jesse, wish Martinez would transfer to Washington for next year. Washington, Oregon, Washington versus Oregon. Holy smokes. Before I open up the phone lines, I just want to remind everybody, we do have some new episodes. We have early peak episodes for early peak membership. It's $5.99 a month. We just have one level membership. We just started this Saturday, and it's popping. It's popping. I thank you so much for all your support. It's extra content. We're not taking away any content from anybody. We're still doing our live shows. We're still doing our episodes. We're still doing our watch parties. But we've also added an early peak for our early peak membership. These are videos. We've already produced 4 of them in 9 days. We are opening up the lens on what we talk about in college football. We're covering things that we don't have time to in these live shows, in our episodes, and our watch parties. We're going to be talking about recruiting, stadium renovations. We're also going to be talking a little bit about, information that we get. You are the first ones that will get the information, and then we'll talk about it later in the day on our live shows. Early peak membership. If you're interested, hit the join button. Hit the join button if you are interested. A whole lot of memberships have come through. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. John Teal, Tulane's going to transfer to the ACC. That could happen. You think Tulane would be one of the ACC's top candidates if the implosion of the ACC is more than 3 schools, and I think it will be eventually. Tulane's going to be one of the top candidates. Great point, John Till. Thank you so much for your super chat, for your continued generosity to this program. Thank you so very much. Jeff Levy to Mississippi State. I thought that Jamie Chadwell was going to take this job. But Jamie Chadwell, man, he's had multiple opportunities to grab an autonomy job, an autonomy school job, a Power 5 job, a Power 4 job, an SEC job. When he was a coach of Coastal Carolina, he had opportunities. First year as a head coach of Liberty, 12-0. He has an opportunity. His family has said in public, Jamie Chadwell's family has said, he's staying in the South. Okay. But there's jobs opening in the South. It was reported by multiple sites that Jamie Chadwell was the number 1 target for Mississippi State, and then Jeff Levy. Well, now people are saying that Jeff Levy's now the number 1 target. Chadwell, what did he do? Turn it down? Wasn't enough? Didn't want to go right now? Going to be a bigger job waiting for him later next year? Liberty is in a situation where they're going to be at the top or near the top of the Conference USA for years to come. And with the college football expansion, again, just like Tulane, just like who's ever going to dominate the Mountain West, these schools are going to be right at the tip of the spear when it comes to the G5 representative in the college football playoffs. Maybe Jamie Chadwell wants to stay at Liberty for a while. Build it as a monster program, which it probably going to be. The resources at Liberty outdistance the other Conference USA programs by a large margin. So maybe Chadwell's playing the long game. He's still a young guy. But man, oh man, he's had opportunities. He's a patient dude, man. He is a patient dude. No, I don't believe so, Tony. Wasn't Tom Allen's buyout 12, 14 million less than January 1st? First of all, I believe it went from like 20.8 to 20.4 or 20.4 to 20 million. It only went down a little bit. That's what I've read. But irregardless of that, January 1st is just too late. It's too late now, man. The only time you should be replacing your head coach in January 1st if your coach took another job. You can't be firing head coaches on January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. Not anymore. You've got the transfer portal. If you fired your coach January 1st, the guys that you get in the transfer portal can leave. That opens up December 4th. You have early signing period December 20th. So if you're going to fire your coach, you've got to do it before January 1st. Or you're going to miss the cycle. I mean, Deion Sanders, Colorado won 4-8. Yeah, they had some problems. But he got in and it wasn't his fault. He got in the carousel too late in the process. Not his fault. I'm just saying, you're stuck. If you're going to get a new head coach, if you've made that decision, you want to make the move now. So he has a landing strip before December 4th, and then he's prepared for the early signing day. He can recruit the players for December 20th. So that's the problem with January 1st. It's just too late nowadays. It's too late. Let me open up the phone lines. Again, we really don't have a monologue. Not today. Not today. Too many things going on. Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Georgia, all have the inside track to the college football playoffs. We have bowl games that are going to be starting to get announced officially today. We have the coaching carousel. Tom Allen fired. Dana Holgerson fired. Jonathan Smith hired by Michigan State. Texas A&M, Mark Stoops, he's not the guy. Who's going to be the guy at Texas A&M? Who is going to be the guy at Texas A&M? The phone lines are now open. 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. Give us a call. Talk about anything in college football that you want. We've got about 15 different things going on. I believe the coaching carousel begins after the Pac-12 championship. Lanning, DeBoer, Grubb are at the top of everyone's list. That's a interesting comment. Now the coaching carousel for school, the coaching carousel has already started for a lot of schools because a lot of schools are not going to be in the competition to get a possible Lanning or a DeBoer. It's outside of their reach to get those guys. Most programs, Lanning and DeBoer wouldn't be interested. So the coaching carousel has already started. Texas A&M coaching carousel for Texas A&M. SEC with a whole lot of resources. That's already started. So the coaching carousel has started. Now, DeBoer and Lanning, I can't imagine either one of them moving to a different program. That's just me. I don't know what program they would go to. I really don't. I suppose if something crazy happens, like Ryan Day takes his Texas A&M, and now Ohio State is looking to fill it, something like that. But I don't see Lanning or DeBoer leaving. Their programs are going into the Big 12 next year. Now, Grubb is a whole different kettle of fish. Grubb is going to be on somebody's hot board list. But that school, whoever that school is going to have to wait till Grubb becomes available. Maybe in Iowa, maybe if Kirk Ferentz, after the bowl season, says, I'm done, maybe Grubb moves into Iowa, something like that. Great comment, though. Michigan versus the world. Hartline should make a move before Ryan Day gets fired. I just can't believe Ryan Day is going to get fired. I get it. No, I don't get it. No, I don't get it. No, I don't get it. But Hartline, he's another guy that people are going to be checking out. Checking out. Go Black 45. If you wait to January 1st, then you don't care being a serious football program. Yeah, you're really putting your new guy in a deep, deep hole. Now, sometimes, you lose your coach because as this coaching carousel spins, as people lose their jobs, there's a ripple effect. There is a ripple effect. So we could see movement in January. But if you are, we definitely will see movement still in January. Oh, I believe so. I'm going to sneeze here. But if you are in control of your own destiny, if you are an athletic director looking to make a move, you definitely make your move before January 1st. You have to make it now. The calendar is totally different than it used to be. According to Allen, A&M has interviewed Trailer. Greg, who's your number 2 at A&M? I'm not even sure if I had a number 1, to be honest with you. Let me think about it. John Till, thanks for your super chat. I appreciate it. How about Gary Patterson to Houston? I don't think so. Gary Patterson, I don't think he was about to get fired at TCU. I don't think so. I think Houston needs a younger guy, a hungry person. I'm going to say no to that. I don't think Gary Patterson would be interested. Tony, Tim Brewster's resigned today. He's available. Oh, jeez. Tim Brewster. There was no way that Tim Brewster, and we said this at the beginning of the year. There was no way Tim Brewster was going to last more than 1 year at Colorado. I don't know what. Now, I'm going to defend Deion Sanders for the result of Colorado football this year. 4-8. That's fine. The hole was way too deep. I think he was too aggressive with the roster management. But overall, but man, when he hired Tim Brewster, when Deion Sanders hired Tim Brewster, come on. Deion, you cannot be wasting your coaching spots with hires like that. Tim Brewster is a clown. He is an absolute clown. My goodness, if you are a head coach and you don't understand that yet, then you're just not paying it. Then you are out of your depth. Now, Deion Sanders has went from Tim Brewster to Warren Sapp. They coached, Tim Brewster was the so-called tight ends recruiting coach. Now Warren Sapp. Hopefully that's a better hire for Deion Sanders. But again, substance is better than flash. I just got to say that. John Teal, Ohio State, Heartline to Houston, maybe? Maybe. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. Now, that I can buy. That is a possibility. No question about it. Thank you, John Teal, for the super chat. Thank you, Tony, for the super chat. Cameron B, appreciate for the super chats. Thank you for keeping the lights on, for your continued generosity to the show. Texas A&M. To me, if I had a guess, it sounds like it's between Robinson and Elko. I would guess Mike Elko, defensive coordinator at Texas A&M, highly successful at Duke. We'll see what happens. Colorado Buffaloes currently on a downward cycle, and I wouldn't say that. I mean, the last couple of years, Colorado Buffaloes were not a 4-8 team. They were absolutely the worst Power 5 team in the country. They weren't the worst Power 5 this year. I'm not saying the arrow's going straight up, but I don't think the arrow is going down. Now, the second half of the season, the arrow went down. But we all kind of predicted that, right? I don't think it's flat line. I think the line is pointing up a little bit. Deion Sanders has a lot of work to do. He's not late in this cycle. He's right there. He's ready to go, right? He's the head coach of Colorado at the start of the transfer portal. At early signing day, that first early signing period begins December 20th. Deion Sanders is there. So he's going to be judged a lot more on what he does this offseason than last offseason. Yes, Holgerson got fired, Houston. Let's take a look real quick here. Pittsburgh Panthers have fired offensive coordinator Frank Cignetti after 2 seasons. I want to thank Frank for his service and dedication to our football program. The past 2 years, Coach Pat Narduzzi. We wish him the very best in his future endeavors. Pittsburgh has fired its offensive coordinator. Here are the payouts, the buyouts. 7 schools by Ross Dellinger. 7 schools owe fired coaches a buyout of $122 million, excluding mitigation. In other words, if one of these coaches get a different job, then the buyouts would be a little bit less. But for right now, it's $122 million, surpassing what is believed to be the record set in 2021 of $94 million. A lot of that $122 million is Jimbo Fisher. Buyout, $76 million. Tom Allen, $20 million. Daniel Holgerson, $15 million. Dino Babers, $4 million. Zach Arnett, $4 million. Gonzalez was just fired. New Mexico, $400,000. The estimate on Syracuse for Babers is just an estimate because Syracuse is a private university. Their numbers are not public. Avalos, $3 million. $122 million spent on buyouts thus far. And it's not over yet. I don't think it's quite over yet. Again, phone lines are open. 763-260-1333. Thanks for all coming in this Sunday afternoon. NFL Sunday. We're talking college football. The crazy, crazy carousel is spinning. Sam Pittman got another year. Correct. Badger Ron on Wisconsin. No! The Wisconsin Badgers beat the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Not very competitive in the second half as the Gophers more and more and more injuries. The whole defensive unit is just decimated. The last touchdown, or this one of the 2 touchdowns in the second half, against cornerback Braun, that was his 3rd play of the season. Because it was the 3rd play of the second half when the guy before him, which was also a true freshman, got injured. Now, the Minnesota Golden Gophers are going bowling. They're 5-7. They're the last team to make it to a bowl. They're the only 5-7 team to get into a bowl game. I think they're going to accept because they want the 15 practices for all the true freshmen that now are playing because everyone else is hurt. But if there's any more injuries, does Minnesota even have enough guys to line up? I don't know. Pretty depressing year for our beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers. When does Fleck get on the hot seat? Not this year. No way. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Maybe Fleck is also looking for a job. But he's got an agent that's mighty aggressive. No, Minnesota won 29 games in the last 3 years before this season. The last 3 full seasons, Minnesota won 29 games. The best 3 years of Minnesota football since 62, 63, 64. There's no way Fleck is on the hot seat. Maybe next year. In fact, I predicted Minnesota to go 6-6 this year. They went 5-7. I was nervous about the back 7 because they were so thin. And sure enough, that's where all the injuries were. So, next year, if I had to predict right now, I had Minnesota about 4-8, 3-9. So, if I'm correct, like I was correct this last offseason, we'll see what happens in the portal, but Minnesota's going to have to come up with a miracle. And it's not just the quarterback position, which is an awful mess, but it's that back 7. I'm telling you, we are in trouble. We need more than one miracle to happen in the offseason. And we didn't get any miracles in the offseason this last year. Go ahead and call in, Alan. The phone lines are open. 763 260-1333. Napier is safe this year. I think he is. Next year is a whole different kettle of fish. It will be year 3 for Napier. Bearcat Steve, wonder if anything's going on in Gainesville. I don't think so. But then again, I started the show by taking the big L on Dana Holgerson. I did not think that a good friend of his, Tillman Fertetti, was gonna axe him after this year. I thought he was gonna get another year in the Big 12. I am quite surprised. I am a little bit more than surprised. So I had to take the big fat L, no question about it. It's not the first L I'm taking this weekend. I predicted that J.J. McCarthy wasn't going to have a good game yesterday, and he was phenomenal. J.J. McCarthy was phenomenal yesterday. I think people are underselling how great he was. Look at every play. He read recognition. He was so accurate. He was so good with his legs. He made no mistakes. Syracuse. Dan Mullen. What do you guys think about that? Dan Mullen interviewed for the Syracuse head coaching job. That was reported and confirmed. What do you guys think about that? Dan Mullen, former Florida Gator, Syracuse. Pretty interesting. If I was a Syracuse fan, I'd be liking it. I would be liking it. Well, if I had to, if I had, Indiana, right? We're talking about Indiana in the chat. Now, I've already said this name 3 or 4 times. I mean, why wouldn't Indiana take a strong, hard look at Jason Candle, Toledo's head coach? Now, Michigan State was able to get a Jonathan Smith. But I bet Jason Candle was 3 or 4, 5 on Michigan State's hot board list. I wonder if Indiana, you would think he'd be on that list for Indiana. Blizzard warning. Washington will be second tier behind Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Oregon, USC, second tier, UCLA, Wisconsin, Iowa, and eventually Nebraska. Maybe a resurgent with Michigan State. Good move by DeBoer to take A&M job. Kalen DeBoer, A&M. If that's going to happen, Texas A&M is going to have to wait. Because DeBoer, I don't think it's going to happen. Everybody's all in Washington. Grubb, DeBoer.
Call from
Alan Baylor Bear.
Alan, can you hold just 1 second, sir?
Sure, Craig.
Thank you.
Anything
John
for you.
Till, thanks for the super chat. Oregon, Washington State are the only teams that crack Colorado, and this roster is a gut job renovation. Smart money is bullish on Colorado stocks. The Buffaloes, thank you, John Till, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your continued generosity to our channel. Go ahead, Alan. Appreciate the phone call. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Greg. Oh man, just waking up surprised that Houston let Dana Holgerson go. But hey, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do to win, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
was shocked. I'm the most
yeah.
shocked. I took the biggest L on that one.
But the biggest winner out of this is gonna be Jeff Traylor, all right, the
Yeah,
UTSA coach, because last week he had an hour and 30-minute video interview with Texas A&M. And it only makes sense that he's the hottest coaching commodity on the market now. So
that's a great point. That's a great point. He was
yeah,
confirmed that he did have an interview with Texas A&M, so you would think he
and
would be on
the
Houston's
average,
list.
excuse me, the average minute isn't like an hour and 30 minutes. It's usually 30 minutes. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
other than that, Willie Fritz, he built a winner at Tulane, and I can't complain. Houston has two good candidates, and good luck to both of them.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Thanks, Greg.
You bet. Appreciate the phone call, sir. Great phone call.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Great phone call, Alan Tran. I just, I've got this feeling. I just got a hunch that Houston has got somebody on tap. Like they know who their guy's gonna be. Tillman has a close relationship with Dana Holgerson, the booster that funds all these buyouts. So to go away from Dana without having somebody ready to go all lined up, I don't know who it is. I do not know who it is. I don't even really. Yeah, Jeff Traylor could be. But I think it's somebody. I don't think it's going to take long for Houston to tie up who their next head coach is going to. It's not going to take too much time for any of these jobs to be filled. Like, because of what we said about the schedule. The coaching carousel is spinning like crazy. The schedule determines it. December 4th, portal opens up. You've got to have your coach ready. If you can, you got to have your coach ready. But for all these coaching vacancies, Houston is the one that I think is going to get filled up real quick because of Tillman and Dana's relationship. And Dana was let go. It almost like, this is complete speculation. I could be completely wrong. I've already been completely wrong about the University of Houston's coaching job. I thought Dana Holgerson would be the head coach 2024. So I'm probably completely wrong again. But to me, it's almost like Tillman's like, Dana, we're going to do it now, quick, and we're going to give you the opportunity to get the best offensive coordinator job out there. We're going to do it to you quick. And at the same time, Tillman's got somebody lined up. I don't think it's going to be much of a coaching search. They've been talking to some agents out there. Some name said they were interested. Tillman said, okay, let's do it. Let's fire Dan. That is my speculation. I'm probably wrong. I'm batting 0 for life here on the University of Houston coaching. What's going on right now? Holgerson, Iowa. Yeah, somebody else. Thank you, Bill G. Someone else mentioned that. Could it be the new offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson? Wow. Now, Dana Holgerson would have. Now, here's another thing. Wherever Dana Holgerson is going, as the offensive coordinator, he's going to have control. The control will be his. Whoever the head coach is is going to have to be hands off. Dana's going to run his own ship. So, Kirk Ferentz, you've got to, if you're going to get Dana, you've got to let Dana rock and roll. PJ Fleck, if you're going to get Dana Holgerson, you got to let him rock and roll. You cannot be two-stepping with them.
Call from
JD.
JD, the floor is yours, Mr. Seminole. Florida State comes back. 12-0, ACC championship. Congratulations, sir.
Yes, sir. We're very thankful. I think people are sleeping on our defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That defense, we probably 3 lines deep on the defensive tackle, our defensive line, and in the secondaries really coming together too. Also, we had some safeties that were out hurt that were hurting. So, them not being around was seriously, it was. There was some sketchy play in the back end of the defense there for a lot of the season, and now some of those injured players like Akeem Dent, they're back. So we'll see. I think Tate Rodemaker can do it. You saw in the first half, the moment was a little big.
Yes.
And then he settled down.
Yes.
He made fine decisions. He was just a little slow. He was being a little careful, which I understand. That's kind of the NFL way. Just don't turn the ball over. And if he could speed it up a little bit, and I think he will, I think we might be okay. I was talking with somebody last night. There's just not a lot separating these teams. I knew Georgia Tech was going to give Georgia a fit.
Yeah.
I did not see the Alabama-Auburn thing, though. I thought Alabama would win convincingly.
Yeah.
And so in Michigan, yes, Michigan beat Ohio State. I'm going to say this just as a homer here. I want to play Michigan with FSU. If we can get Tate up to playing what Tate's capable of doing, because last year when he came in against Louisville, he didn't have a whole week to think about it. He just started slinging, and he played great, especially in the second half. So we'll just see. Man, it really sucks about Jordan going down because now the offensive line is almost healthy again. Some guys that have been out are starting to come back in. I would say if we if we win next week and Jordan was still around, we'd have a month to get everybody healthy. I would have liked our chances. I didn't realize this. FSU only ran Jordan 40 times this year, the entire season.
They're trying to keep him healthy this year.
They had to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about games being close. They just wanted to make sure he didn't get hit, and then he still got hit and got hurt.
Yeah.
And because he was still kind of gimpy the whole season. But anyway, I'm kind of late joining the show. I kind of looked back into some of the comments and kind of got a gist of what you were talking about. If Napier at Florida loses Flagway, the quarterback, in this recruiting cycle,
yeah,
it's not out of the realm of possibility he gets fired before next season. If he to me, that is what holds him in place because they're not going to have a good year next year. Did you see their schedule?
No.
Look at the Gators' schedule next year.
Okay, let me pop it up.
He's going to be lucky to get to a bowl next year.
Okay, we got it popped up. Hold on one second. Going to put up on the screen. They start the season 2024 football. Now, a lot of this is date to be determined because the SEC has not come out with their. So this is a matchup schedule.
Yes, sir.
Miami, Florida Hurricanes, obviously out of conference. Sanford Bulldogs, out of conference. UCF, out of conference. They play Georgia. Florida State out of conference, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Obviously, they're at Texas, at Tennessee. They're at home with LSU. They play Georgia. Yeah, they got a pretty tough schedule. Schedule. Now that I'm really looking at it, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M. Who knows what's going to happen there? Texas. They're at Tennessee. Tough place for them historically, and Georgia, of course. Yeah, you're correct, sir.
Florida's going to have a freshman quarterback most likely next year, and they're going to lose. I'm not so certain that whole locker room is. I don't know. The Florida State games are always chippy, but I'm not so certain he has complete control over that locker room right now. Because there was some stuff going on. Everybody saw the spitting where the guy just spit all over the FSU player. But there were other things going on, like whenever Tate got hit when he was sliding, and then they did the targeting. Two guys came in and hit him in the head. When FSU's, team doctors were coming over there to check on Tate, some of the Gator players were trying to fight the doctors. I mean, it just something seems off there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But anyway, I'm not trying to talk about the Gators here. But anyway, I was just throwing that out there that there's a chance. I thought Napier would probably get fired at the end of next year. A new coach isn't going to want to come in and take over with that schedule, but with the way some of those teams should be significantly better. And catch that probable losing season. But then I don't know. But as far as the rest of it goes, I'm not a Texas A&M. I don't have anything against Texas A&M, one way or the other. They have to quit worrying about what everybody thinks. They're so paranoid about being the little brother to Texas. And I'm not sure if, and maybe you talked about it earlier and I didn't catch it, I'm not sure if Mark Stoops changed his mind or he wasn't a big enough splash hire that both sides saw that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There's reports out there saying that the Texas A&M Board of Regents did not make it official, and then they weren't not going to make it official because they felt the backlash from the fans. I have my doubts on that because the Board of Regents usually don't know or don't care what the fans are talking about. It's the donors that really have to be satisfied. So I don't know if those reports are accurate or not. I do not know what happened there. Mark Stoops, I thought, would have been a great hire for Texas A&M because, he's been in the SEC. Kentucky's done an incredible job. I don't know what the Texas A&M fans are looking at. That's the problem. I don't know. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I talked about it early in the show. I'm not sure what the Texas A&M fans are, who they're looking for. I don't know what their number one guy is. I hope it's not Urban Meyer because that's not happening. I don't know who they're looking for.
I saw where somebody had posted, and I forget who did. There were 6 or 7 names that somebody had suggested, big names that Texas A&M was really floating, and Norvell was one of them. Somebody else posted online that from what they heard, at least 4 of those names had just turned down even an interview with Texas A&M. And one of them, Lane Kiffin, was never really a candidate in the first place. I know Lane Kiffin was on there, Norvell was on there. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the whole dynamics with Texas A&M just from the outside looking in. It just reminds me a lot of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, and I'm not saying, Texas A&M is college football America's team. But there's this perception of what it has to look like we need the splash. We need the splash. Why do you need the splash? Just get you a good coach,
Yeah.
and it'll take care of itself. So I don't know. It's just hopefully for them they can line somebody up quickly and not have this drag on, because there's not a lot of really big names out there that are available in the first place.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to take somebody that's probably just a good coach, and let's start with that. And but anyway, all right, sir. I just wanted to kind of pipe in here, but I appreciate it.
You got it. Appreciate it, JD. Mr. Seminole, congratulations. ACC Championship game up next. Thanks for the call.
Oh,
yep.
Appreciate it. One more thing. One quick question. I'll keep this brief. If we win next week, in your opinion, should we be in the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're in. Yep.
Well, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah.
Just, let us get in. Let us get paid a month of practices, and then let's see how it stacks
See what
up at
happens.
that point.
Yep.
But
All
all
right,
right,
man.
thank you. Good
Thank
evening.
you, JD. Ryan Willie, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Do you think that Fickle took the Wisconsin job with an eye on Ohio State job after Day leaves? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think when Fickle took the Wisconsin job, he's all in. 4, 5, 6 years. He's going to have a pretty long runway at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not going to make a... No, I don't think so. I don't think he expected the Buckeye job to be opened up. Now, if it does, would Fickle be a top target? Possibly. I don't think he'd be the number one target. No, I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I think when Fickle took the Wisconsin job, he's expecting to be there for quite a long time and have great success. The first year, okay. It's going to take some work if they're going to change over that offense, Wisconsin and everything. We'll see what happens. But no, my opinion, no on that. But thank you so much for the super chat, Ryan Willie. Thank you for your generosity to the channel, helping us keep the lights on. Thank you very much, John. The only splash for A&M is Urban. Thank you once again for the super chat, John. And Urban Meyer's not going to. I've been consistent. I don't think Urban's coming back. I don't think he can do it. And I think his family knows that he can't do it anymore. Thank you, John Till, for the super chat. Appreciation. Look, Mike Elko, I think would be a great hire for Texas A&M. I think Mark Stoops, great hire. It's not going to be Mark Stoops. It could be Elijah Robinson. The coach already on the staff. The players want him. Do the donors want him? Possibly. We shall see. It sounds like right now it's Robinson versus Mike Elko. Mike Elko has already been at College Station, already been successful at College Station. Defensive coordinator. He's been in the SEC grind. Did it for 4 years. Mike Elko has done it at the head coach at Duke. I think he would be a fantastic hire. I know Duke doesn't want to lose him. Of course they don't. Is Chip Kelly safe or what? Don't know. Thank you for the super chat, John. I don't know. I don't think so. But yet we haven't heard anything. It's silent with Chip Kelly. It's very, very silent. Now they had a game late last night. Maybe we'll take over till Monday. The reason why I don't think Chip Kelly is really all that safe, and he hasn't been, is because the relationship with the donors is terrible. I don't know. I'm hedging that he's not safe, but we haven't heard anything yet. Nathan, report out today. The Aggies are shooting for Dabo Swinney. I saw those reports as well. Dabo Swinney. What would the Texas A&M fans think of that? Again, I think they should be pretty happy with it. Clemson should be pretty sad about it. Clemson fans, maybe they won't be. Whatever Texas A&M does, it's going to be a huge ripple effect throughout, unless they go and get Elijah Robinson, their defensive line coach. But Dabo Sweeney and Mike Elko, it's going to set off a pretty good chain reaction. Thank you, John Teal, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Phone lines are open, 763-260-1333. I want to report this real quick. It is now official. It's official. Houston Athletic Director Chris Pesman has put out this release. This is Athletic Director Houston, Chris Pesman. The University of Houston is committed to a championship caliber football program and ensuring the success of our student athletes, says Pesman. Our search for a new leader begins immediately, and I'm confident with the incredible fan support, tradition, access to prospective student athletes, and the pending opening of the Memorial Hermann Football Operations Center, we will attract a very strong pool of candidates. Over the course of his 5 seasons with the Cougars, Dana made strides in our football program in many ways and laid the groundwork for our transition into the Big 12 Conference. Ultimately, the results on the field fell below our standards of excellence. We are grateful to Dana for his efforts and commitment to our student athletes, and we wish him the very best in our future endeavors. The most important part of that statement is from Chris Pesman. Ultimately, the results on the field fell below our standards of excellence. So the University of Houston made the move. I got a feeling that Houston has their guy lined up. Maybe I'm wrong. But I got a feeling that maybe they have a good idea who is interested in the job right now. The University of Indiana. We've got a little bit of news on the payout. They did some negotiations. The University and Allen have agreed on a financial settlement of two $7.75 million installments that will be paid through the Department of Athletics donor funds. So they're taking it out of the bucket of the donor funds, going to Tom Allen. It looks like he is settling for less. However, he's probably getting the money a little bit earlier than how it was previously laid out. So in effect, it's possibly a win-win. In other words, Tom Allen's getting $15 million sooner than the $20 million that was going to be paid out over years. Therefore, Tom Allen has the money, he can invest it, you know how all that works. And Indiana is going to get the payout done earlier, and it's going to be coming from the Department of Athletic donor funds, from that bucket of cash. So there is more news coming out. Crazy carousel. It is spinning like crazy today, November 26th, the day after the college football season, the regular season. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you know when we're coming on live next. We're coming on live at any time. Anytime there's breaking news, we do episodes. So please subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. And if you've been around, and if you want even more extra content, we are providing an early peak episodes, an early peak membership. Go to our College Football Peek Around the Corner YouTube channel. Hit the join button if you are interested. $5.99 a month. There's one level of membership. We provide just a little bit more extra college football content than we have been doing. We're not taking any content away. We're adding content, providing just a little bit of extra information, cloak and dagger, before anybody else gets it. on our live show. Plus, we're going to be talking about football renovations. We've already done it. Football recruiting. We're going to be covering a whole lot more at our early peak. This has been going on. We opened this up 8 days ago, and we already got a whole bunch of members. So we've already done 4 of these episodes. We've taken that information. We've done it later in our live shows. We are blowing way past our projections. Thank you so very, very much to the PATC community. So if you're interested in our early peak membership, it's new. If you're interested, please hit that join button. Appreciate it so very much. Let's get back to your comments. Phone calls, wide open. Phone calls are wide open. The lines are wide open. 763-260-1333. Give us a call. Talk about anything you want in college football. John Till. A few weeks back, you said no, but if A&M isn't that sweet on Lane, would he come back to West to UCLA? I don't think so. For California Speed.
Call from
Steve.
Steve, can you hold 1 second, sir?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. John, I just don't think so. The reason is, if you are a successful coach in the SEC, you're not taking any other job unless it's the top jobs in the SEC or the top jobs of the Big Ten. And I'm not trying to take any shots at UCLA, but it's not the top tier job in the Big Ten. It just isn't. And I'm not trying to take any shots at all these other SEC programs. But Lane Kiffin is not going from Ole Miss to almost any other job in the country. It's got to be top level Big Ten, top level SEC. I think A&M is potentially a top level job. It's got all the resources, the recruiting grounds. It doesn't look like Lane Kiffin's interested. I don't think he's interested in going back to UCLA. I really don't. I don't think he wants that. I could be wrong, but that is my opinion. Thank you so much for your continued generosity, John. Thank you so very much. Steve, thank you for your patience. The floor is yours.
How you doing, Greg?
You got it. I'm doing all right. My voice is gone. I screamed at the TV all yesterday. I don't know. It was a crazy, crazy Saturday.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get crazier through the week now, doesn't it? With
Oh,
all the
yeah.
coaching
Yes.
changes and everything. Couple things just throw out there. I think Jason Candle might be about as good a fit for Indiana as there is.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but I think the guy could give him some Big Ten school money to build a program and see what he does, because he's done a pretty nice job at Toledo for
Yes.
sure.
Yes, sir.
Couple other things I want to throw out, Greg, purely just for conversation's sake. There's a couple coaches other than Elko in the ACC that I would think would garner some interest from some places. B. Clausen at Wake Forest. And if you read what Dorson said yesterday after having a really good year at NC State, he came right out and said, we need money to keep this going.
Yeah.
We need money for this success.
Yeah.
Was that a everybody beware, I may be going somewhere else?
Well, if it is, then a whole bunch of other coaches are whole bunch of coaches are saying the same thing. I just to pull it back into Minnesota land. PJ Fleck's been saying this desperately all year. Look, we're going to lose more guys this portal season, and we are. But he's desperate. I think Fleck's looking for a way out. If they want to win 5 and 7, all these coaches that have had success at very challenging programs like NC State, almost all these programs, if you're not a helmet school program, if you don't have a big NIL operation, collectives, you're looking for that every extra dime, nickel, penny to try to keep your own players besides trying to get out. Could it be a sign, Steven? Maybe, but man, all these coaches are being very, very vocal about, I need money. I need money into our NIL collectives or I can't do this anymore. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you spoke of Minnesota. I don't even want to speak of Cincinnati right now because that place is, from every angle right now, a complete mess.
Yeah.
A complete mess. I'm going to take the big L on Satterfield. I told you last summer that I had some confidence he could come in and win 5 or 6 games this first year, and the proof's pretty much there. Mm-hmm. They didn't progress during the season. They digressed. Mm-hmm. And there's people that are real upset with him in the AD. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what happens, like you said about Fleck in the portal. We're going to see what happens in Cincinnati when that portal opens up. Because if there's a mass exodus, which some people on the inside at Cincinnati are saying is very possible, Satterfield's probably going to have one more season, and that's unfortunately going to be it for him.
Yeah.
Everything, they just did not, he missed terribly on Emory Jones. Just terribly. I warned everybody after the Eastern Kentucky game when he had a Heisman-type trophy game that he's probably not the guy. Let's see what happens. But anyhow, I just think Dorson said something, and I just think that Clausen's out there that could. I don't know that he could be a fit for a Big Ten or an SEC job. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's he might have waited a little too late to jump though, but
yep, I agree with that, Greg. I agree.
But he's got a lot of respect though throughout the college football landscape, so he might still have an opportunity. Yeah.
It's just going to be crazy when the portal opens up. I mean, what are we, a week away from it?
December 4th.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a live show. I'm going to be bringing a blanket into the studio. I'm going to be hiding under the blanket, under the covers. So you probably won't see my face, which is probably good news for every one of you. You're still going to hear my horrible voice. I'm going to be hiding under the covers. I am absolutely 100% terrified of what's about to happen.
I am too, from my point of view from Cincinnati, as I just reiterated a few minutes ago, Greg. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we'll see what happens. The Texas A&M thing.
Yep.
If the players want the current defensive coordinator, does he have any? I didn't do any research.
I don't know.
That's my fault. But does he have any head coaching?
I don't know. I do not know.
Experience anywhere at a different level, Greg? So, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know if Dana Holgorsen ever wants to coach again.
Oh, really? Well, he sure is a fiery guy, though. He's pretty passionate.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't like recruiting.
No. No.
But he likes play calling. I think Iowa and Minnesota should give him a call. That's all I'm saying. They're too conservative to do it, though. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Traylor just seems like the obvious choice at Houston. But, I've been so wrong on so many things the last 8 months. I shouldn't even be making any Any observations? But
No, go ahead.
boy,
Go ahead.
you know,
Fit right in here. Your host took about 3 L's at the start of the show.
Trailer sure seems like a natural fit there.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it when you brought up the scenario at Houston. Gosh, they must have somebody like, hey, let's go get this guy, or this guy's already said, if we want him, he's coming. You know what I'm saying, Greg? That's just, and man, I don't. Trailer at UTSA's been pushing for a 40,000 seat on campus stadium to get out of the dome, get out of the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
Be on campus, this and that. But the money's not there, and he knows it. Even in a place like San Antonio, it's not there. No. And I would just think he would look at the Houston job and go, yeah, probably ought to do that at this point in my career.
Yeah, you bring up a good point.
And he's got such great connections from everything I read.
Oh, yes. He's loved by the high school coaches. Yep.
Oh, yeah, in Texas. Yeah. And he's proved what he can do at Texas San Antonio. He really, really has. So, anyhow, I posted that about Billy Napier spending my winter in Florida, 120 miles south of Gainesville. I talked to a few people yesterday. Mm-hmm. And they said, and it didn't happen, but they said Napier better hope that Florida State doesn't come in with a backup quarterback and blow him out of the swamp. Mm-hmm. Because that could have been a whole different story come this morning. But we'll see how that transpires too.
Yep.
So anyhow,
alrighty, man.
And I appreciate the time. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, Bearcat Steve. Great call. Great call by Bearcat Steve. Tough year for Cincinnati. I predicted them not to do so well. I predicted Houston not to do so well. I didn't think Emory Jones was the answer. I didn't think Scatterfield was the answer, but he's going to get another year at least, so we'll see what happens. Again, I predicted West Virginia at the bottom of the Big 12, and they went 8-4. The Mountaineers went 8-4. Neil Brown keeps his job for another year. Raider Vision, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, thank you so much for your early peak membership. You are knighted, Cloak and Dagger, Raider Vision. Appreciate it. Again, if you're new to the channel or if you're been part of the PATC community for a very long time, we are doing our early peak membership, providing even extra content. So give it a look. Hit the join button. Early peak membership. Okay, going back to comments, phone lines are back open, 763-260-1333. I don't know, Holgerson, I don't see him leaving the stage. I don't. I think he wants, it's tougher when you're a head coach, right? You're head coach of the Big 12 West Virginia Mountaineers. Then you go to Houston being a head coach. It's probably a little bit difficult for him to slide back in the offensive coordinator position. But if it's the right job, if someone gives him the reins, right? I think he's got the fire in his belly for offensive play calling, to develop your offensive program in your football program. He's never had the fire. He's never had the belly for recruiting. He's too, he He's not good in the room. He doesn't talking to parents. This has been known about Dana Holgorsen for years. West Virginia, he didn't recruit. But being a guy, he know. I want him. I want him as offensive coordinator. I think a lot of people would want Dana Holgorsen as the offensive coordinator. We'll see what happens. Maybe he takes a year off, or maybe he's done. I don't think he's done. It's tough to call it quits. He's still he's not an old man yet. Neil Brown busted his butt. He sure did. He sure did. He got the job done. He got the job done. No question about it. Does Bielema go to Iowa after Ferentz retires? Great question by Ryan Willie. Great question. I'm going to guess no. I think 2 Big Ten jobs is probably, he was the coach of Wisconsin, incredibly successful, went to Arkansas, did some analyst job, NFL analyst job, goes to Illinois. I don't think he's going to bounce to his 3rd Big Ten job. I think Illinois is where he's going to stay, and I think he's going to be there for quite a while. Again, just my opinion, but I don't think he's going to go to a 3rd. Now here we got some breaking news on the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears, according to Pete Thamel, ESPN sources. Baylor's Dave Aranda will return to coach the Bears in 2024. He's 9-16 since winning the Big 12 title, the Sugar Bowl, and the Baylor's first ever 12-win season in 2021. Aranda's return will come with significant changes on and off the field, as there's expected to be staff changes and an uptick in Baylor's NIL investment. Peter Thamel went on to say, the case for optimism pushing forward includes a talented core of young players. Baylor played the most freshmen in the Big 12 in 2023, with 24 true and redshirt freshmen playing nearly 4,500 snaps. So, Baylor, Dave Aranda, I know we have some Baylor Bears in the chat, Alan Tran. The Baylor Bears are bringing back Dave Aranda, and I didn't think he was on the hot seat. I didn't make a change that soon after the 2021 season. I don't know how much he would have been owed if they would have let him go. That's a good question. Don't know. Justin Lucas, SMU ranked. The swan song in the AAC, SMU ranked. Okay, I think we're going to close up our live show. We've been on the air for about an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody coming on in Sunday afternoon. I know it's NFL Sunday, but so many crazy things are going on. Will we do a live show tonight? We will, if we start getting some official bowl games all lined up, and if there's other breaking news. We will do a doubleheader tonight if the news cause we go where the story goes. So if we need to do it, if we can do it, we will do it. So if you're new to the program, keep your head on a swivel. If you're new to PATC, please subscribe to the channel before you leave. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you're universally notified if we come on live or with our episodes here at Peek Around the Corner. I want to thank you all for the donations, for the new membership. Thank you so much for all the support you give us. Smash the like button before you leave the channel, before you leave this live stream, because it helps us with the algorithms of YouTube so very much. College football, we are in now the crazy time. The crazy coaching carousel is spinning like lightning speed because the calendar makes it so. December 4th, the portal opens up. December 20th is the first day of the early signing period. The carousel is spinning. New coaches are going to have to get hired quickly. Staffs are going to have to be built. They're going to have to start recruiting their current players on the team, much less the players that they're trying to get for the 2024 high school class. We are going to do the best we can here at Peek Around the Corner to cover it all. So that's why we're putting out even more content with our early peak episodes, early peak membership. If you're interested, hit the join button. So stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner. We could be coming up on live later this evening. Wow. College football, Dana Holgerson fired. Tom Allen fired. Who is next? It's not going to be Dave Aranda. He's coming back next year for the Baylor Bears. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.